Lobo10,000 here, bringing you the next episode of the Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. In this episode, we're going to collect the final collectibles, and then head to the final area of the game. Yes, we're coming up to the end now, we're on the final stretch. We've only got a few collectibles, and then it's over. So first things first, we want to head to Raziel's place, because, as you all know, we love Raziel, we love his house. And there are a few things we need to collect from this area. Now, here in Raziel's domain, well, at the very beginning of the game, when we went to see Melchiah for the first time, there was a lever that we had to flick, and then there was a wheel, and it released a drawbridge. This drawbridge that we saw way back then was connected to 3 other drawbridges. Our job is to now go to that drawbridge location and use the constrict ability to access the other areas. That would be this area here. Ignoring the enemies. It's time to get ourselves moving. So, first things first, we want to go into this drawbridge. Now, there are 3 different drawbridges. 2 go to new areas. This one's going to be for the health power-up, I believe. Rude. Oh. Oh, that's dark. He just burned. I don't even know why he burned. He just did. Here, we have a health power-up. And no enemies, surprisingly enough. So, now that we got that health power-up, we now need to collect the final Eldritch energy power-up of the game, and thus have full glyph power. Flick you again. Now we want to head across that drawbridge. Yep, this is the right one. If you see stairs, it means you're on the right drawbridge. So, head up here, and there'll be a short block puzzle that we need to complete to get it. It's nothing special. It's just a few blocks. So, and by the way, this is going to be one of the last block puzzles of the game outside of the final area, so I'm getting very emotional because block puzzles are just my life. I love them so much in this game. Everyone loved the block puzzles. They weren't annoying or monotonous at all. They were great. Loved them. It was a pity that block puzzles were pretty much the only real puzzles back in the day that you could effectively do aside from switch puzzles. But I don't think it hinders this game in any way because I just adore this game as is. So, that's 2. And there's that 1 block up there we need to get, so let's climb up here. 1, 2, 3. Heave-ho, here we go. Down you go. And now our goal is pretty simple. Get it on top of that little pillar, and then we can just continue on. There we go. Then flip you up. And we need to move it forwards by 2, I believe. 1. I believe we can move it forwards by 2. I think we should still be able to get on top of it, but just in case, I'm only going to leave it at 1, because we can still make it up there now anyway. Like so. With that, we have the final Eldritch energy power-up, and our main goal is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to do a tactic, and this is basically, I'm going to save. LIG, gonna save, then I'm gonna quit, and then I'm gonna reload. And when you reload, you actually end up back in the underworld, so you don't have to run back to a warp gate. Now the music's a little bit off. It'll play the music of the area you were just last in on the PC version, so Now we want to head to the Drowned Abbey, so let's head there. Alright. No, I wanted to go. No. No. Yes. We're back in Rahab's domain, because why the fuck not? And there is one energy power up here that's been hidden for so long that we just didn't know existed. And now we can finally come back, finish this area, and then head to the final area of the game. Alright. Head down this way. And we're gonna get the cutscene of the door closing again, because why not? And now our goal is pretty simple. There's not really too far we have to travel. We just have to travel across here. I hear that. I hear that enemy. We want to travel up here. Head through the corridors. We just kind of want to ignore the enemies here, so what I'm going to do is avoid you. Light. And because of their crippling anxiety disorder, and the fact that they just hate sunlight, we kill them. Hey look, it's something we can constrict. Yep. That's the only reason we needed to come here. Because we needed to remove the plug hole. Once we've done that, simply head down here. I believe it's this one you have to pull out, but there are two sides, so it could be either or. No, that's not it, it's the other one. Yep, this is it. There's enemies here, so. And that's the final power-up of the game. So, I'm going to do what I did before. I'm going to save the game. I'm going to save at Rahab dead. And then I'm going to quit. And I'm going to load back up. And we have all of the power-ups now. And now that we have every single power-up in the game, we have all the health items, we have all the Eldritch power-ups, we have everything that we would ever want or need. It is time for us to head to the final location of this game. So, I ended up accidentally skipping this last episode, but when you leave the ruined city, the voice that has been guiding us this entire time does give us a bit of exposition, and we're to head to the far eastern side of the Frozen Wastes, which is basically, let's just keep moving on past Dumas' city. Now, in the original plot for the game, this was about 2/3 of the way through the game we'd be going here, but because they had rushed development time, this turned into the final part of the game. So it doesn't necessarily feel like a final part of the game, just due to that. Just want to make our way around these giant pillars. Naturally, I also want to use the sunlight glyph just to get rid of any enemies, because I don't want to deal with them. Let everyone burn. And now, we open up the door to the Oracle's Cave. The Oracle, also known as Mobius the Time Streamer, one of the main villains of the original Legacy of Kain game. Yeah, we have to deal with him. But for now, I'm pretty happy and content just killing a bunch of enemies. It's fine. So our main goal right now, and the main goal for the rest of the episode, is to find our way into Mobius's lair. Now, the only way to do this, aside from brute force is to solve its puzzles, and that will open up the way to the final level of the game. Now, we're going to do that this episode, and then we're going to save the final episode, which is the episode after this, for the finale. I'm going to warn you, though, the finale is going to be a bit disjointed at the end, because there is a segment where a lot of videos are shown, and that messes with my, my recording software really badly. I'm going to use Flame, because this guy just sort of needs to die. So, heading through the crack in the wall, we now have an entirely annoying challenge that we must complete. Effectively, there are these little block puzzles that we have to complete. Oh no. And we're trapped, actually. I realize we can't do it with this open like that. This one we could probably get away with moving. We want to move this at least. We want to move this over there. To where that door is going to be. Just get that done prematurely, that way we don't have to deal with it any longer. Basically, there's a giant strategy to this. Alright, push you across. Move that block there, and then we want to head back up to here. We then want to constrict this and turn the doors. Doing so, we'll close that front door, but open up the side doors. We then want to head down this way, because we need to get the blocks that we're moving into those slots where the black symbols are. But to do that, we need to beat a few puzzles first. Such as for this one, we're going to need to close the fire door. Why are we closing the fire door? Well, it's pretty simple actually. We need to open up the blue door on the other side. So, first things first, push that in there. Now we can get that block that we wanted to get in up the other side. So, head back into the spectral realm, head back to the start, shift the gates again, and we can head back into the big room and move that block up to where it belongs. This isn't actually a very difficult puzzle. However, it does require a bit of logical thinking on the part of the player, and I like that. I like the use of the constrict item, at least in this area. It definitely feels a lot more used than, say, the scaling ability of Zephon. Alright, want to push you across. Our goal now is very simple. Push you into here. With that slotted into place, there's not really much we need to do of really any note of difficulty. Simply shift the gates around one more time. Head back into the spectral realm. Other way. There's also a demon behind the walls. Head back through here. Physical realm it up. Move you out of this space. And then we simply move... Okay, I don't need this cutscene every time we're moving these. And then it's just a case of moving it across over here. Alright, let me just go this side so I can really see where I'm pushing. Once it's in place, all of the doors will open, so that puzzle will be solved. So, that door opens. The windy doors open. We're all pretty good right now. So, we enter this lovely room. Another enemy here. Rude! I'm gonna burn you. And then I'm gonna suck out your life energy, because why not? We want to shift this to the right. That opens that door, which should also feed my glyph energy if I go into this little healing circle. Yep, restores my glyph. Doesn't restore my health though, which is a little disappointing. But, you know, that's fine. Heading up here, we want to head into the spiritual realm. There is an enemy right there that we're going to need to take out, so... Which we can just do so like that, it's fine. Boom. And then it's a case of making our way across... I saw that. Making our way across there. Alright, continuing onwards. We want to head across to here. And we want to head back into the physical realm. Then it's just a case of heading across to here. And then doing some simple puzzles. Now this puzzle actually confused me a lot during the test run. Until I realized, to my dumbfoundedness, that I could just use my projectiles to hit the blocks into position. And that took me way too long to figure out because I forgot the projectiles were a thing. But yeah, you can just fire them into place. Come on. I can do this. There we go. No, really? Okay, I know that should be pushing inwards. This is dumb. There we go. Oh, hello. Hello, friend. Goodbye, friend. Friend is dead. It's pretty sad, actually. Just gonna use the fire glyph, it's easier. Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno. In this room, you just want to get the 4 pillars, all with the crystal lining up in the middle. So this one will be moved that way. This one you'd move this way. This one you have to move twice in either direction, so... 1, 2. Oh, it didn't move. Oh. There we go. And then there's you. Going around left will take you to the win. Doing this opens up that first door right back at the very beginning of the area, and that is the door that we need to go through to end off the episode. So, let's make our way back there. Like so. Gonna need to head across this way if we want to get back through. Push our way through. And... reopen those doors. With that, we have opened what will soon be the final part of the Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. So, in the next episode, once we kill this guy quickly. And with that, in the next episode, we're going to be heading in there, and we're going to be finishing off the Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. I will see you guys in the next episode, the finale, and the longest episode of the series. Goodbye.